Good morning, Southwest Florida. Welcome back to Estero 68 News. I'm Stephen Banis.
And I'm Parker Schuler, and today we have a special report regarding climate change.
Climate change is a very important issue as it affects every aspect of our society.
Climate change can contribute to many problems we see today, including sea levels rising and droughts.
Climate change is a major problem for Florida as increased temperatures can make the state more susceptible to wildfires, flooding, erosion, and increased insect outbreaks.
It's a very serious issue and it must not be taken lightly, and we have to take action as soon as possible.
And on that note, let's switch over to Allie and Alyssa to hear from the experts.
Thank you, Stephen and Parker. Today I'm here with Gavin. We're going to be talking about climate change. Gavin, what do you do for a living?
I'm a lifeguard.
What does climate change mean to you?
Well, climate change really doesn't seem to affect me at all, if I'm being honest. I think it's kind of just a load of baloney. I see people talking about it all the time. I don't see it happening. You know, it's just, they say it's getting warmer, it's warm. It's warm in Florida every day.
So you would say climate change hasn't affected you at all?
It has not affected me at all.
How do you think climate change has affected the world?
I frankly don't believe it. I don't see the ice caps going away. They're still there.
How do you think we can slow climate change?
None of my business. I don't think we need to worry about something that's not our problem.
Thank you, Gavin. Now we're going to go to Allison.
Thank you, Alyssa. And now we have Josh here. And Josh, we're going to be asking you some questions about climate change. So what do you do for a living?
Well, I'm currently unemployed.
Okay. So what does climate change mean to you?
Well, ever since my wife left me, it's been very hard to, care about anything, besides having my wife back.
I'm sorry to hear that. How do you think climate change has affected the world as a whole?
I mean, really hasn't affected much. I mean, I don't think it, really causes any other problems, but my wife leaving me caused me a lot of personal problems.
Okay. And what can we do to slow climate change?
I mean, I think we should just focus on getting my wife back, I've sent her plenty of emails and she's ignored all of them, so I'm just more focused on that than, larger scale things such as climate change.
Yeah.
My name's Andrew Wilkinson, and I graduated with my master's from the University of Ottawa in chemical and environmental toxicology. And my undergrad was a lot of environmental biology as well as toxicology.
Okay. And so the first question is, what does climate change mean to you?
So that definition's changed since I went to school. So essentially, I just still see it as very basic that humans are adding way too many greenhouse gases. We've almost doubled them since pre-industrial times.
Yeah.
So for me, climate change is drastic change in global climate patterns around the world due to humans simply adding, doubling many of the major greenhouse gases over the last 200 years.
Yeah. And how would you say you've seen the world affected by the greenhouse gas emissions rising?
So for myself firsthand, I know, like, back in, something I've seen personally in 2004 is my buddy and I went on a canoe trip in December. All the lakes were open. Something when I was a kid, if you told me in Northern Ontario, Canada, in Algonquin Park, I was going to do a canoe trip on freshwater lakes in December, I would have said that you're crazy.
How do you think the world as a whole can slow climate change? Like, what can we do to slow it down?
Well, it won't be easy. We would literally have to change every aspect of our life. People, number one, would have to eat less meat, which I don't mean it would be impossible. No one's going to do it, but just even if those people who ate meat 3 times a day did it once a day, that'd be great.
Yeah.
If you ate meat once a day, if you could do it once a week, that'd have a huge impact. The next one, impossible unless we do strict lockdowns into infinity, would be people have to drive and travel less.
Yeah.
That's what it would take.
My name is Don Duke. I'm a professor of environmental studies at Florida Gulf Coast University. My degrees are in civil and environmental engineering and in English. My PhD PhD in Stanford is from environmental engineering with a concentration in infrastructure planning.
What does climate change mean to you?
What does it mean to me? It's the existential crisis of our lifetimes.
How have you seen climate change affect the world?
I stood at the foot of a glacier in Iceland, where actually I was a mile from the foot of the glacier on the viewing platform that had been built just 10 years before, and the glacier had retreated about a mile in those 10 years. That's the only evidence that I've seen with my own eyes that's noticeable, but all the data show changes in ecosystems all over the world. Glacial ecosystems, tropical ecosystems, everything in between.
What can we do to slow climate change?
Shown in the literature as a wedge approach, where any one policy can at most do a portion of what we need to do, and we'll probably have to stack together 10, 15, 20 policies, some of them that we haven't even imagined yet, in order to solve the problem. It's not going to be any one thing, but many, many different things.
Thank you so much for your time.
Okay.
Thank you, Ali and Alyssa. It was great to hear the different perspectives on climate change.
As you can see, climate change needs to be addressed to ensure humanity's survival.
If each person in the world can make changes to their lives, we can ensure that planet Earth is a healthier planet for many years to come.
You heard it here first, folks, at Channel 68 News.